Hey, what's going on? So, um, I wanted to try something different today
I'm trying something new.
where I start making some videos of me working on music or just trying to come up with ideas and just kind of show what the whole creative process is like. Because at least for musicians, especially if like somebody digs your stuff, I think it's pretty like from my perspective, right? When somebody makes music that I really like, I like to see how they go about making that music because sometimes it's like maybe there's something that they're doing in their music that I don't know how to do, and I kind of want to see how that's done. Or it's also just kind of interesting to see like the different approaches people take when they're creating music. So, I don't know. I figure I'd do the same thing. And as a bonus, actually, it's helpful for me because I don't even really fully understand my own creative process 100%. Yeah, I journal about it, but it's like if I actually like videotaped myself making things and kind of like looked at like what is going like there are things that happen in the in between moments of creating that you're not really paying attention to, that you don't even really consider to be significant, I suppose. And so it's like if I could actually view footage of myself writing things and be like, oh, I didn't know I do that or whatever, you know. So that's part of why I want to do it too. So without further ado, um, yeah, so I use Reaper. That's my main project of choice. Uh, there's so many cool things about Reaper, but like as an example right now, so there's two tabs up here that they're both unsaved, but this is like a project template that I could just load in right here under voiceover background. And Reaper has this when you go to install it, it has something called reroute, which kind of is like a virtual audio device. um, so I'm able to like plug this into OBS, and then when I'm talking into my microphone here, it just routes directly out to the video, which is pretty nifty. And I could just like open that up in the background. And so I have that like opened with like a compressor or a limiter to try to like raise the volume of my voice and cut off like the sharp, like if I make loud noises, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't suddenly peak in volume for you. It cuts off. So and then there's the voice denoiser, which just makes things sound a little better. I have it set to this, but maybe adaptive mode would work better. Um, and then just some EQ to boost the bass in the voice and a little bit of the highs. So, all right. So I don't know what. So lately, okay. So here's my mindset as of late. I have been thinking a lot about working on my my next album, which is I'm not 100% sure what the sound of the album is going to be yet. I know kind of things I want it to be, but when I worked on my last album, there was like a couple of songs that I came up with, and I could just kind of immediately between those two songs see the relationship between them. There was like both compositionally and the thematically as to how it sounded, you know? Um like the actual like tones and stuff I was using. Like everything was like heavily washed and reverb. Everything sounded kind of dreamy, but everything sounded very dark. And there were like synthesizers that were in there as well. Like there was just a lot of different things. I was like, okay, this whole thing just kind of sounds gothy to me. And so it pushed me to want to really dive deeper into goth music because I was already listening to goth music, but like I was just listening to like some. So I was like, I'm just gonna dive in there and like listen to a bunch of goth rock or goth adjacent things or whatever, which is a whole other topic actually. Of like, I try to avoid calling it goth directly because I know that there's some like communities out there that be like, this isn't goth, but I feel like you can get away with saying it's gothic or gothy, you know, just kind of adjacent to whatever. Um, but regardless, that album, it was very gothy in tone. So it was like, okay, I know what I'm pursuing when I'm writing that kind of music, and I like that vibe. And it was interesting because it was something new for me to explore. Because I hadn't really written. goth music per se, but I felt like the couple of songs that I did write at that time were very strong in that vibe. And I was like, dude, if I can make songs that sound like this, I want to make more that sound like that. So, with this album, which it's going to be called Vividarium, a reference to like Final Fantasy VIII, if anybody knows that. Means garden, at least in the context of Final Fantasy VIII, because apparently the real word for garden, which is interesting, is Veridium, I believe. Veridium is Latin for garden, which I find interesting specifically because I've always used the name Viridian, and so it has like the very part in it, which is also, I think Viridian or Viridis is green in Latin. I don't think Viridian is an actual Latin word, but obviously the word Viridian, the color name, was derived from Latin. So, in regards to what I'm wanting to do with this current album, though, for Vividarium, is to. Okay, so the first couple of songs, and I could probably bring up some of those now I think about it. Just a second. This may seem dorky, but I mean, it kind of helps me conceptualize things. So, as you can see, I've taken a bunch of tracks that I've already written, put them as album names. Immeren's is actually a completed real album, but these are like Lumina is actually the one that's Vividarium. I mean, maybe I'll still do Lumina as a name. Maybe that'd be easier to work with. Everything's still up in the air, but like I had a bunch of like song ideas that could potentially go with this. The thing that's like a little tricky sometimes is that some of these songs are from like 2020, some are from 2022, and some are from 2024. And so because it's like in 2020 is when I started really recording a bunch of music on my own, and there was a whole lot of like learning going on, just figuring shit out. And still like I make stuff in 2024 that is not nearly as good as quality as something that I made in 2020 at times. It just depends on like, I don't know, what my ears are like at the time, I guess. And but my goal was always to write and finish a whole song in a week. So there's 3 songs that I was kind of convinced were the main ones that I think kind of go for the vibe of Lumina. But then I'm also kind of like, the main thing I'm conflicted about is that there's this, so there's a band that I really, really like. Not going to be a surprise to a lot of people, but it's Chaodot. So, but they have an album called Choirs of the Eye, which is like one of my favorites. It's most people, anybody that's a fan of the band, it's like probably the one that they generally consider to be their best. And that's the thing that I like about it, have always liked about it, is the combination of extreme metal. Like, it's not just that it's like death metal or technical or whatever. It's that it's like, and it's not even just that it's like abrasive and noisy. Like, what I like about it is that it's kind of like, there's a bit of like a horror element to it. So it's self-described by Toby Driver as being like violent and beautiful or whatever, I think. That's he words it better, but that's like basically how I remember it. And I'm kind of wanting to do the same thing for this album, to like contrast against like Immeren's being this kind of more atmospheric kind of thing. But so with that said, I don't really have too many heavy songs yet. Like, I've been trying to work on some, and so the issue is trying to find heavy songs that work with this material. Let me just show the material first anyways. So first one, I might skip through some of the stuff just so you can kind of get the idea.
Like remnants of a blight, echo of past. consumption of the mind, deafening choir of content, clawing from the inside, pushing it down and away. Oh, I couldn't care less, or at least that's what she would say, but it won't relent. And as she looks away, staring out into empty space, it's welcomed embrace. Heading outside into the dimming light, darkness coats the sky, overcast as the storm rolls in, wishing for a rain that washes away all the pain. The moment drawing near, the scent of petrichor fills the air. The first drops start to fall, dotting the ground in reverence. The sound drowns out all hopes of doubt. Clarity found in nature's grasp, holding steadfast. Our gardens colors spilling out by the windowsill, forgotten, hopelessly shy, beats dripping down the frosted glass, silence at last.
All right, so that was one of them. So while I was sitting here listening to it, because this kind of shit also helps me to kind of discuss it. So I know that like one of the things I always wanted for this album was that so thematically I wanted to explore I wanted to explore spirituality. I think that was kind of like the idea. And in this case, this particular song is more of a goodness, dismiss. Sorry. Um, ooh, that like rumbles the desk. I wanted to explore spirituality, and I wanted to. So in the case of this song, it's more of a kind of like, I don't know if I want to say druidic or whatever, but kind of more of a connection with nature, shamanistic maybe. I don't know. Just a spirituality with the with nature, I guess. I don't know. I'm not super deep, so it's more of a like I try to convey those feelings through the music and through the lyrics that I write. I'm not very good at explaining them, but there's that. And then there's this other song, Prie Dieu, is Prie Dieu. I'm not even actually sure how it's pronounced, but it's a word that I found. Um, Prie Dieu is it's like an altar that Christians pray at, like Catholic. Let's see, what's it look like? Prie Dieu. Prie Dieu. So a Prie Dieu is a type of prayer desk primarily intended for private devotional use, which may be found in churches. So Prie Dieu. This is what this one sounds like.
Echoed steps for one who walks alone among twisting spires and thorns, unfurling, untamed, unknown. Sleep, a distant dream, elusive and fleeting. Shrouded is the silent thief, stealing away moments of much needed relief. But in the quiet of night, a gentle breeze whispering through the trees. Facing a light, piercing through, stained glass, a shattered image of God caught in its grasp.
All right. So yeah, as you can hear thematically, at least between the two songs, both musically and lyrically, they're both acoustic singer-songwriter songs, right? And they both have to do with like different kinds of belief. Whereas like Prie Dieu's more of a like it's kind of like more of a song of like grief and seeking some kind of solace in religion was kind of like the idea behind that one. Um, Now there's another song, and this is where, the kind of stuff where it's all like I kind of want to put it together, but also maybe it just there's a little bit of musical thematic relevance in this next one, the Alluring Shine, because it also has like an acoustic guitar passage towards the end. Um, but this one differs from the other two quite a bit in that this one's more of a like rock song that kind of is like in the vein of like Opeth's Damnation a little bit. Um, More upbeat. It's not quite as chill as Damnation. Like if there was an album between Damnation and like Deliverance, it would probably be something like in there or whatever. Um, but lyrically, this one has nothing to do with belief, and I mean that's okay. It's like so on Immeren's, a lot of the songs here kind of had to do with like anxiety and depression, but not every single one did. Like Fire Walk with Me is clearly about Twin Peaks, so it was just a song that I wrote after watching Twin Peaks for the first time, and I mean it musically fits the album, just lyrically doesn't, which is fine. And Alter Ego is about Killer Seven. So I mean, those two happen to be about different like media. Actually, now that I think about it, that's kind of interesting. So Luminous Well is about uh, Lunacid, a video game called Lunacid, which is kind of like an old school like. So it's a modern indie game, but it's based off of King's Quest. I think that's what it's called. Is that what it's called? Whatever it is, Kingsfield, maybe. It's whatever video game series FromSoft used to make before Dark Souls or before Demon Souls, I guess technically. Somebody based like a video game off that style of RPG. So that's what Luminous Well is based off of. Fire Walk with Me is based off Twin Peaks, and Alter Ego is based off of Killer 7. But the rest of these songs have to do with like anxiety or have to do with the musical theme in some way. Like Dream Interrupted doesn't have any lyrics, but it definitely is a goth rock song. Um, and then like Quietus is like that one's more of an ambient song, but it does have to do with like feeling trapped in kind of like an emotional loop or whatever, stuff like that. So everything is kind of like relevant in some way. So with that in mind though, so the Alluring Shine is actually about there's a monster that I was reading about within, there's this that's not a comic book. So there's this collection of artwork for a fictional video game. Maybe it's the best way to put it. Called Vermis. So Vermis 1. Let me actually pull this into frame here. There we go. So as you can see here, there's God, why is it not letting me scroll the? Why is it like so super zoomed in there? Can I zoom out a bit? I feel like I'm having to zoom out real far. But yeah, as you can see, it says official guide, right? It's not an actual like real, but like not a real video game or anything, but it's kind of like a conceptual game. And they have like the different characters and stuff. Their like website is like cutting off the top part of the picture here, but yeah, so you can see that there's like a variety of like enemies in a specific zone or whatever, and then they kind of like show like a specific enemy. Its name would have been up here, and then they have like a description. Well, they have a monster in here. It's this like spider creature. Um, Actually, not unlike something that David Lynch would maybe create, but it's like this spider creature with a human face that's inverted, like the face is upside down, and it has like light coming out of its eyes and its mouth, and it like in the book, it's showing that like the spider creature is there's like a treasure chest at the end of the room that appears to be glowing, and then as the hero approaches it, they see that the glow is actually coming from the mouth of the spider that's sitting behind the treasure chest. So this one's kind of more of a song, like a tale of avarice and everything like that. So let's go ahead and give that one a quick listen. And this will be the last, I think, that we'll like be listening to just some songs that I wrote. And I'm just trying to establish a baseline understanding of like what three songs are kind of like doing the are kind of the direction of the album at the moment. And then I'll kind of like dive into some stuff later because there's a bunch of different songs here, but I don't know if they all necessarily fit with that. Um, Sometimes it's like the process of like putting together music or putting together these albums is more for me. It's kind of like more like a putting together a puzzle, and it's like I'm discovering pieces of the puzzle as I write new songs or whatever. And in this case, it's like I have a bunch of different ideas about what this album could be, but I'm looking for like the through line of different elements because if the whole album was just acoustic guitar songs, I wouldn't be into that. Like I like a good acoustic guitar song, but an entire album's worth, unless I'm like Andy McKee or something, that's not going to be very interesting, I don't think. So it's like I want to mix that with a progressive metal, progressive rock element or something like that. Um, so yeah, let's listen to the Alluring Shine now.
I step into light, allured by the shine from the chest I present to you.
Okay, so that's the last of the songs that was like I felt like was a pretty strong contender for the album. Um, like I said, there's a bunch of other ones on here that I've thrown in. You can see all the names last night or late last night, moving on from nowhere, blah 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 blah. A lot of them are also acoustic songs, and I was like initially kind of like pairing them in with that stuff, thinking that maybe it could like belong to this, but honestly, I don't know. So all right, so with that established, okay, so those are like three of the song concepts that I felt like kind of point in the direction of an album, but there's a little bit of heaviness in that song, The Alluring Shine, and it's like that part is like the most powerful part to me. Like it's my favorite part to listen to. Um, when I'm like singing "Drink Deep the Light," but I'm kind of like shouting it, you know, and it just like my voice is being buried by like the loud ass guitars and shit. Um, I love that like sound. I love that feeling. Like if I'm actually like performing and you're playing something real fucking loud and you're just shouting to try to even hear yourself. You know what I mean? That shit's cool. So, I want to do something like that. Now, I've been coming up with some ideas. There is, ooh, maybe not that one yet. Let me go to this one. So, no on that. There is a song idea. There's an older song that I have from. It's actually pretty old, like probably from when I was like 21. I'm 35 now, so yeah. Um, what that would be like 2011, yeah, it was probably like 2011 or 2012, one of the two. um Let me go ahead and unmute this, or yeah, turn off the recording. So let me just check now the way that I so you know, with this being the first episode and all, I'm just trying out like what I think works best as far as like where the webcam should be. I initially thought maybe putting it up here, but then it covers up like all this stuff. I don't want it over here because then it covers up this. I don't want to cover up, like, I will eventually add stuff to the master bus, and obviously I'm dragging up and down the master volume. So I figure maybe just kind of like putting it here in the corner, because if I'm working on something down here anyways, you know, I'm probably going to like do that, you know, scroll down, zoom in. Now you like I put things in the center of my screen so I can see them better. So, dude, I don't know if I recorded all the soft stuff for this. I don't know, maybe not on this one. What is this? Super sick riff. And yeah, forgive me for like obviously like as I'm coming up with ideas, they don't sound great like mix wise right out of the gate. I'm trying to get them to sound better as I work on stuff, but the drums sound a little too abrasive, like too loud, too forward. Goodness. I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's a cool riff. It definitely needs like it's one of those riffs that's going to sound way better when the arrangement is just right. What's this one? It's the same thing. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so like one of the cool things with Reaper 2. Sorry if you hear the microphone being adjusted, but just trying to move it out of my vision a little better. The one of the cool things in Reaper, so there's like certain things. There's this SWS/SNM extension thing that you can install, which I believe is where notes come. Yeah, notes right here. So with notes, with a little tutorial for people who use Reaper. Well, first off, you would get I think just go online, look that up, look it up online. There's a place where you can like download the extension or whatever, and have it. I think that's how it works. I think you install it into you probably just take it and unzip it into a specific folder, or maybe there is an installation executable file or whatever. But it installs like a bunch of different like actions in Reaper, and one of them. So if you hit like if you hold shift and hit the question mark, that's like how I'm bringing this up. Then type notes or whatever, and in here kind of have to scroll through and look for things, but there's a bunch of different like scripts and edit. So down here where it's like, so you can see this, it says SWS/SNM, and there is an open and close notes window, and as you can see, there's one that's notes window, extra project notes, global notes, item notes, marker names, marker subtitles, marker region names, etc., project notes, whatever, track notes. So I have it set up so it's like I can click on an item, and then I have this notes thing here, and I just click on that, and I set it to the bottom of the window, so basically it opens this up, and then if I just hit this button again, it closes it, right? But I can type, you can select where you want the notes to go to. So in this case, I clicked on that item, and then I can put this thing here or whatever, and then hover over it, and now I can see the note, and I can click on that and open up the note. So I'm actually just gonna delete that because it's a pointless thing. Okay, now we don't have anything. But the way that I use that all the time is that it's useful because you can see these little green bubbles that pop up over things, and so I will often put like what chords I'm playing here. So like I would fret 10, 10, 0, and then XXX. So don't play any of those notes, you know. And then the same thing here, where it's like, this is the pattern, the sequence, do 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 do, right? So that's how that works. Yeah, so it's a nifty little thing. So it allows me to like quickly like go in there, or like write a riff, and then if I don't want to forget how I wrote said riff, I can just click on there, type some notes, or I could even just like, if I wanted to like write things out more specifically in like Guitar Pro or whatever, then I would just like write there that, I would open up the note and just indicate that if like you can find more in this Guitar Pro file somewhere else. I don't think you can link anything. It would be super useful if you could, but yeah. Maybe you can. I don't know. It's something worth investigating, though, huh? So, what other? So there's a riff here, and I'm actually going to take a break real quick, and then I'll come back and play this part. All right, and I manifested a guitar. So, the bit. So this, I really like this bit a lot. I'm actually going to mute my shitty vocals, but well, okay. You know what? Let's be candid, huh? I'll play my shitty vocals. So when I do stuff like this, sometimes I'm just going like, just to make fucking sounds. Because I don't know what the lyrics are supposed to be. It's more like I'm feeling a fucking growl. So that's what this shit's all about. And it reminds me a lot of Gorguts. That's why I put this fucking tag here. So I really like this riff a lot, though. All right, so yeah, it obviously kind of sounds like a mess, but so here's the main part though. Okay. First off, the song. So this tuning. I don't know, like way back in the day, back when I was 21, um, when I first discovered Chaodot, and even a little bit before then, but so Opeth uses altered tunings, but theirs are a little bit more in the predictable side. It's like they're not that far off from E standard typically. But Chaodot slash Mod Little the Well used very, like, every song was like a different tuning, it seems like. And a lot of them were like crazy tunings. So I started making my own tunings. I call this one the BBC tuning, and it's that's because it's the lowest string is tuned all the way down to a B, and then the A string is tuned up to a B, then C. Sounds evil. And then there's these notes on top, which I can never remember what the actual sequence of notes is. I want to say it's like G, C, D, I think. G, C, D. Well, I guess, yeah, it would be like game. No, GDC is a game developer conference, so it's like the opposite. Game conference development. I don't know. But anyways, so that's the tuning. And I originally had this song from back in the day, which I don't have this recorded at all, but what it would sound like is. Turn this shit up louder. And then I need I have this foot switch that I haven't really set up yet, but I have this foot switch. The idea is that I want to be able to switch between heavy and clean distortion, but I would like hold that like distorted note and then go into like snap it into clean and play. And then back to distortion. And this part would actually just loop over and over again. Let me see if I can actually just do a quick loop of this. So let's do this thing here. So I'm gonna insert it as a 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And then I could just loop that part. And then there's like a lead guitar part that goes over the top of it. and then that would transition into oops. That fucked that up. Okay, let's try that again. So it's fuck. This is what happens sometimes. So So that was one of the things I had written originally back in the day. And I think from there, like I kind of like I'm envisioning like a holding some kind of like maybe like a kill switch or something is kind of like cutting out that distorted sound, kind of like creating the sense of like the sound is collapsing into something or whatever. And then as it starts to settle and arrive somewhere, it then would go into maybe violins over the top of that. That kind of thing. And that would kind of like work its way up to distortion. Yeah, I don't know. I just really like the sound of that riff, though. So that's kind of like one of the things I'm working on at the moment. So I suppose that could be the thing I work on today is try to record some semblance of those ideas and see what it sounds like when it comes together. There's just like a lot of other different riffs in here. I'm not sure if any of them will be relevant. Maybe that's a waste of time to be looking into that stuff, honestly. I don't know. So, all right. So let's go ahead and do that though. So new project tab. We're just gonna. So the song was originally called. What the fuck was it called? Damn. It's like it's a word. I don't know why I'm spacing on the word. It's like a word for like a sense of clarity, like a sense of understanding that you finally found. Like it's like if you were experiencing grief, it's like when you come out. Catharsis. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. So catharsis. That's what this song is actually titled. In Reaper, I have these like track templates set up so that I could just like right click, hover over, select something from here. I mean, so what I can do this and go like record and then set this to instrument 9, which is where my guitar goes into. Let me turn that off. right? But then I need to load in the amp sim and all that shit. So, but instead of just doing all that, I just kind of set up like, do I want amplitude or do I want bias effects? And it's just a quick like way to dial in something. So let's do amplitude. I've been trying to switch to amplitude because of experienced like a data loss a while back with bias effects 2, which really fucking sucks because it's there's a lot of Reaper files. I can't even demonstrate it because if I do, it's gonna crash Reaper and then you won't be able to hear me talk anymore. But basically, if there was a file that had bias effects 2 at some point in it, or a project, and it's a older version of bias effects 2 that I had uninstalled and reinstalled because there was an issue, it will crash. And I can't even recover whatever guitar sound was originally there. Like, I still have the raw audio of my guitar playing something, but the whatever tone was there specifically in the mix of that song, gone. Fucking sucks. So, for that reason, I've been trying to switch over to amplitude. Plus, I mean, I think the amps, I don't know. Bias effects 2 sounds really good, but the nice thing with amplitude is that if you're trying to go for a specific sound, they have like the Fender amps here. They got the orange amplifiers here. I think they even have, so they have the Roland Jazz amp, you know. They got all these different oranges. I'm pretty certain they have Marshall. They even have Mesa Boogie. Yeah, Mesa Engineering. Yeah, Marshall. You know, so they have a lot of the brands, which is nice. So it's like the problem with like bias is that they have like a, actually I think it's Guitar Rig that has one, and it's called Citrus. I don't know what they call it in bias, but like whatever the equivalent of the orange amplifier is, they call it something different. And some of the bias effects amps do sound pretty good. But it's also, yeah, it seems like it takes more resources to run it compared to amplitude, which is another thing I don't like. Because I have a bad habit of running like a shit ton of the same instances because I'm like looking for different sounds most of the time. Anyways, let's see, what kind of sound do I want here? Let's really crank the volume of that up. That's cracking a little too much. I think we want twin reverb is the one that's like real clean, I think, even at high volumes. Yeah. Right? Add more treble. I don't know if I need more treble. Let's see. Let's reduce the mids and bump the treble, I think. Reduce the treble a little bit. Something I'm trying to get better about is getting the tone right from the beginning. It still sounds a little muddy. I don't know, it's a little better. This has reverb on it too. maybe I should try to position this downwards a little bit. There, now you can see more of my guitar. So. Alright, let's maybe a little lower on the bass. Alright, so it's always hard for me to dial in guitar tones because I don't know, like my ear just goes like, yeah, sounds fine, you know, and I'm like, but it's like really the sound I need. So that's where it's like I try to then sit and listen to it as if I were listening to it on a record. Is it the sound I like? Maybe that might be fine. I don't know. Another thing I could try doing, let me just turn the reverb off on this. Okay, so the reverb is all the way down. Let me, yeah, actually, let's just close out of it right here. So, route to this. I'll just put guitar reverb, I suppose. And then I've been, let's see, quick add from my reverbs. Valhalla Vintage, I think. Yeah, let's try the Valhalla Vintage. Now, I do just immediately like the way that sounds. That, like, when that low note hits. Ooh. Alright, so now what's that sound like? Alright, so I can maybe, I'd kind of just like the way it sounds like right out of the gate there. Maybe just drop it slightly, let's see. I think that sounds good. So, now, okay, now the hard thing is going to be, this intro is very Kyoda in the sense that it's, is it rubato? Is that what you call it? Where, it starts out at a certain tempo. I don't know, maybe it's not rubato. Rubato is like borrowed time, I think. This one is a gradual slowdown. So let's try it like this. Let me do a thing out here. I'm gonna do a tempo. So when I hit Control C, this pops up. And then I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, and then the way it's gonna start. Let me go ahead and just save this project. So I put all my projects in a year. Well, maybe I want to throw this one in here. If not, Did I call it? I'm calling, dude, I've renamed this fucking album like so many times. So it was Elysium, Lumina, and Vividarium. I don't really know what I'm landing on yet. Like, as the album starts to become more clear to me, I'll name it properly. But this one is Catharsis. All right. So, oh wait, whoops, that was stupid. Delete that. I was like wondering why I wasn't doing anything. Okay, so 327 Catharsis. So that saves it as its own folder, puts all the project, like if I said save project as again. So you can see that it created that folder in here, put the project in there, audio, and this is like where the audio files would be if I select all files. Surprised. I mean, it doesn't. Maybe it's just not showing it because it's looking for something. But, anyways, yeah. All right. So we got like the clean sound. All right. Which I guess I'll just put this one as clean. And then duplicate that one. So I could fuck around with the idea of trying to get the automation thing to trigger the way that I want it to. Because honestly, if I were performing it live, there, like when you go to switch from like clean to distortion, there's kind of like an audible like click as you're snapping between the two presets, right? And I think I kind of like that sound. But yeah, we'll see. This one is going to need a lot less of the reverb, probably. Should I go? Let's just try dual rectifier, honestly. Ooh, so loud. Yeah, let's bring down the reverb. There's that one, dual rectifier with German 34 sound like. I kind of like that one's less bass heavy. What about Ingle? Definitely not that one. No. No. I mean, I like the, like when it's more shrill, but it still needs some body to it. That one's kind of like a happy middle ground. That one's just like, there's, the mids seem too low on it. I mean, granted, they all have presets. I'm sure I could adjust it. But I'm just assuming the, that's like the quality of the sound of the amplifier. I don't know. So I'm just looking for one that kind of best fits the initial vibe I'm going for, I suppose. I mean, I could always try doing like a dual amp like situation thing like this. And then have this one be... What was the other one that I liked? If I liked the one that was shrill, like JCM Slash maybe. Now, how are these like divided? Yeah, I don't know how this one works. Like, so like, I mean, do we do this? So here's one. maybe add more bass on the... Yeah, there's just a different sound, like, I don't know, we'll try this dual amp setup. Dude, that's the thing, is that sometimes I'm just not convinced. And also, like, it needs to, like, be blowing out my fucking eardrums. Like, for me to get the right idea, that it has to be, like, you know, I need it fucking loud. Need to get the DI, see? Oh no, we'll fuck with that for now. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going from 135 to 60. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think I want to do like 12 strikes. Let's just for the sake of argument, let's say it's supposed to be 12 strikes. All right, so I'm trying to think. Let me just do a little bit of this first. So let's get the first part going. All right, so it's like we're going like right on the beat. So. 9, 10, 11, 12. Am I doing 12? Maybe we do we'll do 13 strikes. Okay, so 13 strikes. And every one of these, so this is where we start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. Yeah. I think we're right. So it's like, I think I want this to be the pivot point, right? So we'll do from here. See if this works. Whoops, wrong one. So Shift C, we'll add this, and then can I do like click on this, gradually transition tempo to the next marker, and then we start here, and we'll just, I actually need to turn up the let's see. Try not to make that too loud, but I also need to be able to hear it a little better. Okay, whoops. I'm trying to delete that. Get rid of the volume thing that I just set. So. That actually went a lot better than I expected. Look at that. My fucking, like, my tempo game is on point. So, like, it's slightly behind, that's fine. But we're, like, right on the beat there. Yeah, okay, cool. I think we're good. Now, if I wanted to duplicate that, let's see. Duplicate this. I got it save. Since I got that set up. This will be the heavy left guitar. This will be the heavy right guitar. We will hard pan this to the left. We will hard pan this one to the right. We will delete what I had just recorded, and we will do that again. Cool. Save again. Now when did we command so? So, okay, there's, I think normally when I would play that, it would be like... So my tempo is a little different. This is where it's like, so much of it is just kind of like free form. So, do 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 do. All right, so now let's see how we would connect those two. So, do do do. So we're kind of like, I don't know. We're now at like 112. Okay, so I'm trying to think like so. I think maybe I will just like straight up drop this there. Okay, so no, wait. Dude, that fucks everything up. It's crazy how like it does that. So if I did this here and made this 112, it pushes everything back, dude. So let's take the item properties, I believe. Make these time based because they're gonna have to like transition through different periods of time. And make this 112. Okay, so now everything's like locked in. I could delete this one, remove that time signature. That's too fast. Let's actually just like edit this. Make it 80 or something, so it's like a little faster than 60. Kind of like that or whatever. Is 80 the right? Maybe it's like just even a slight tempo shift. I can't tell like what tempo it should be. Either way, it's like... Yeah, like, dude, yeah, just this like little... Okay, so 92 is like approximately probably where it's supposed to be. All right, so with that in mind, then let's start from here. Alright, so from there, and then it's going to snap right back into 135. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever. Alright, again, I have to keep. So as you can see, this is what's happening. If you look at the top here, it says rate 1.086, and that's because it's like when I add something, it tries to condense it. So I need to go into these and hit time and apply. And then from here, I can apply this again at 135. Maybe, I'm wondering if maybe I should, like, on those last 4 bars, do that speed up to 190 from 192. Or not 192, from 92 to 135. Because I was feeling like it was a little slow on the return. And then it would feel a little less predictable because it's like, yeah. So let's try that. Gradually transition tempo to the next marker. And then I will just cut this a bit. Move that in. Okay. And then I will drag that back. I'll bring this back in. And we shall see. Oh, wait. So 135, it was like 6 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it's like here is where we start that transition from 135 to 160. Whoops. 135. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I keep saying 160. I mean just 60. And then we do that gradual transition from that marker to this one. So save that. And then actually, I don't even need this. That's just there to like indicate that's where the strike happens. And then it's just this kind of like very like loose tempo fluid kind of thing going on there. So I'm actually going to drag this back to there, and we'll just start from here. Why'd it do that? Just because there's like a slight overlap there, apparently. Lame. Hate it when it does that. Glue the items together, drag this back, and this goes here. Fuck, I fucked that up. Hold on a second. Glue. Drag this in. There we go. And then from here, do the same thing again. And just make sure... Yeah, that was a problem, it looks like. What is, that one has like so much reverb? It almost sounds like it's just pure reverb, like, what the fuck? But, try it again. Yeah, that one isn't like real super clean on the hit. 2, 3. drag those in. All right, save that again. Clean guitar. Do this part again. Drag this back. Let's start from here. Oh wait, where's it? So it's like after 8 bars, it becomes 92. So and then I have to take these two again, item settings, properties, or whatever. Switch them to time. Apply. Shift this to 92, and then okay. Yeah, and then I'm going to duplicate this one because I need this, like, do I need to duplicate it? No, I don't, actually. So it was like, this is one of those instances where I could be a little bit more conservative with how I'm using my system's resources. But insert a new track and just put this in here and do second, or overlapped guitar. I don't know. It's the same thing, right? There we go. I did not mean to do that, though. Mono, instrument 9. There we go. Okay, so... Oops. So, kind of. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the tempo that I want to play this at? Let's do that first. Whoops. I keep doing that. This. So I want it to be at like 84. So many like fucking like feel shifts, man. Let's try it from there. So I just went ahead and like recorded, like ignoring the tempo at that point because I know that it was shifting more, and I'm like, I kind of just want to try to make it feel as organic as possible. So I'm gonna try to figure out like how to map that, given that I ignored it at a certain point. So ignoring tempo, that's where that shift happened. And then, so this is where it's like I do need to, do I need to? I don't really think we can get away with like doing this. I don't think it works like that. Maybe it can work. Okay, we have ascended now. I took a break. I had stuff to do. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I had stuff to do. I'm still working today, so just took a break to take care of that. So let's actually just listen to what this sounds like at the moment. Actually, just a real quick detail. I am going to drag that like basically right up. I don't want to hear that like sound right before. So like that. Oh yeah, there was like a thing. I think I need to move this back a little bit. So I actually like played a little too much. Where's this start actually? Whoops. So let me snap the turn the snap on. So I'll just actually drag that so it's like. try to drag that so that it like ends up here. Yeah, so it's supposed to be there. Okay, so yeah. So normally it would come in earlier, but I moved it because I played too many repeats of this rhythm part. Now I have this. So in this section there would probably be a little bit more, I don't know if I'd say orchestration, but definitely more layers of something else going on besides just the little guitar melody. And then see, like I was ignoring the tempo here, but you can feel how that like slowed. You know what I mean? Yeah, honestly, I don't even know. So I could try to map that. Maybe I should, but like the importance of like mapping the intro part is because I plan on playing like a drum part for that, right? It's actually just kind of, well, okay, here, let me duplicate this first because we're going to do bass. Okay, so this, I don't even know what the bass part's gonna sound like. I haven't tried doing bass for this one before. And I have two options. So I have a 5-string bass that has a low B string. The tuning has a low B, so probably should use that one. But the strings on that one are really fucking old. And I probably want more of an abrasive sound. And I have this new bass, but the lowest string is E. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, let me grab the new bass first. Shit's heavy. All right, new bass. Switching my inputs. And then input here. And then let's just go ahead and mute that. Obviously we want this centered too. We don't want it to the left. Let's just instead of like trying to make my own, can I do this? There we go. Let's look by instrument type. Instrument, I suppose, electric bass. I mean, let's see, what's genre metal super heavy bass? I made these, I just realized. Because it says Scott Pilgrim bass, so it's, yeah. Damn, alright, what do I... really don't know what kind of bass tone I'm looking for. I'm sure that sounds real fucking annoying, and I apologize because we here at the Vanat channel are figuring out how to make videos. So yeah, like obviously you can hear that coming through the microphone more so than it coming through the fucking thing. Okay, that has some growl. Okay. What about bass and treble? Yeah, I wanted something with like some growl to it, so. Alright. Alright, trying to make sure I got the DI. Trying to soundstage it. Okay, so we will roll with the one that just says bass. Now, what do I want to play here? Try to figure. There's so many like fucking notes in that because I'm just strumming across the open strings, so it's B, B, C, G, C, D, right? And this is currently tuned to E flat, making this E, where what would normally be B here. I think this is B. So. And I feel like it needs to be more aggressive than that, man. So let's see. We go to the thing here. And we need it loud. I just need like some distortion or something. Let's try the OCD. Where do I want to put it here? I just think distortion to make it heavy, right? But I don't know what makes it sound good. So we'll just experiment. I need a noise suppressor or something in here. There we go. Let's raise that threshold. Boom. I don't know. I also don't want it like ridiculously loud, but we'll kind of gauge that, won't we? So. Okay, I mean, whatever. I don't know if we want reverb at all in this. Do we need that much drive? Just a little bit to give it bite, I think. Maybe we want it to be less tone heavy. Yeah, this is definitely some like avant. Is it avant-garde shit? I don't know. Like, it's just KO shit to me, which I guess makes it kind of avant-garde. But alright. And so that's where it's like, I didn't even record. I'll get back to it. But there's, this is where I need to record, like, some semblance of drum stuff, I suppose. Or program it, at least. Alright, so programming drum stuff. So, drums is another thing I tend to struggle with frequently. Because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Just like tone. Tone has always been my enemy. I never know what's a good sound. Because everything kind of sounds pretty fine and okay to me. But like, when it comes to actually starting to put things together, like the mixing process, right? Like, I understand why people obsess over tone when it's important to get the sound right from the get-go. That way, when you record things and you start putting shit together, it all starts to meld together nicely, right? But a lot of people, like, say, like, guitar players, they focus like only on their tone, whereas like I'm like trying to figure out like what's a good tone for bass and guitar and for drums and for a synthesizer and stuff like that. Which makes it a lot more like stressful trying to figure out like what's a good sound for everything, because just having a good guitar sound for one thing could clash with the bass sound. And so maybe you need a bass tone that doesn't normally sound good, but really sounds good in isolation. But when you like pair it right up against like the guitar tone that you like, it just seems to like fill all the gaps in a way that's not like, if something's like missing from the guitar tone or whatever. So okay, so we got addicted drums. So I'm imagining like just from the get-go, draw it out like this. Hold on. Let's just draw it out from here. We'll just go down to there. All right. Now, how fast are we going here? I think if I do these, right? Oh yeah, the master on this is like super low. Why does it keep going back to the reverb? There we go. So we got a blast of 16th notes. I could also switch that to like 16th triplets. So it's like, I think that's kind of like more what I'm looking for. Like, I want it to like fucking blast. Bring those up to here, I suppose. Grab every other one. I don't know. Like, bring them down to here. Does that sound good? Yeah, okay. And then maybe every other one of these is down. Maybe like that. And then just like blast it through the fucking... See what I mean? Like that's kind of that's why I wanted to like do the tempo thing, because it just kind of gradually slowed its own self down. And then here's where something like that. I don't know. So I don't know. Can I do the like the so like that? Oops. Programming drums is definitely not my favorite thing to do. It's a means to the end, but it's nice when the stuff kind of comes out the way that you want it to. All right, so no. I don't even know like where I would put snare hits, to be honest. Okay, so let's just hear what that like sounds like. Oh, whoops, that's not where that goes. So, I thought that was the, so this goes further. It goes like here somewhere. Let's drag that out. I'll just drag that out to like, there. Doesn't truly matter. Drag that there. And this goes here. Yeah, okay. And then I can take all this stuff and do the humanize thing. So humanize the velocity and the timing, and what's that sound like? We cooking. It's coming together a little bit. Yeah, boy. All right, so then, and then same shit here again. I'm thinking about like right before it like fucking goes in on it, you know? Is there a way that I can like, I want that to have like more reverb in that moment. All right, so let's just see if I can like do like a fucking, I don't know. Well, okay, actually, what if I did like, what's one way I could do that? I'm thinking like I could sample it. Maybe that's something I could do. Sample it. How am I going to do that? Hold on, let's see that first. Let me just grab this little section. Solo the drums. File. I think maybe I have a sample thing saved. Hold on, let me actually save in case I screw anything up. Render. Instead of the entire project, do I have something for sampling? Sample export normalized. Snare hit. Render one file. Do I need to render it as a wave? Let's just render it as a flag. Open. So, okay, that's worth noting, I think, just for myself. It seems like when things go to render, I might not be able to speak into this. So that's a thing. Let's see. So take this out. Close that. Let me insert a new track that I'll just put, let's put it over, maybe I'd do it like this, drum samples, or sampled drums maybe. And then I can take the snare hit, bring it in here, basically the same amount of whatever. Just delete that. I'm also going to need to trim that back. There we go. All right, so it doesn't need to be that loud. The idea of what I'm trying to do though is like bring that down and then like apply a reverb to it, or maybe I'll just send it to this guitar reverb for the time being, since it's like the, yeah, okay, and then control how much of that goes. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that doesn't sound great, but that's kind of the idea though, is like to kind of get this like, maybe it needs to go slightly and what is that like so it's like weird, it's like it picked up on something in there. Not, I don't know. I really don't know. Fuck it, whatever. It's the general ideas there, so let's just see what that sounds like all together then. No, that sounds it sounds bad. I mean, not every idea works, so. But I think the other stuff does. I'm down with like that general vibe so far though. I don't know how many, let's like. One, two, so like here. Cut that. It's all, should all be fine. Let's just, can I like, drag that in, and basically this aligns with that right there. I mean, there's a little bit of a fucking glitchy fucking sound in there. I don't know if I can smooth it over like this. Okay, better, much better. Okay. And then we get to this like, we get to that much sooner, so that there's that. bit of a jump in volume right there. All right, and then let's see. Let's just duplicate this. I don't know if I need to duplicate that. This is the kind of thing where it's all like I can possibly just automate. Let me do H bass, and then this one, amplitude. Why is there not? Oh, I didn't. I thought I hit the thing. All right, and there was one that sounded pretty good. I thought. Instrument, electric bass. Maybe it was just bass and treble. There was something that sounded like super. I don't know, I'll just fuck with that one then, I guess, for the time being. I don't know, so. I don't know. I'm just gonna do those for the time being. Fucking up some shit there, but it kind of just gets the general idea across, I think. And then I need to do these heavy guitars again at the end. I'll just hit the B. Hit this one too. Oops. And then do that for the guitars again. it's a pretty exhaustive back and forth process. So switch inputs. There we go. I don't need to hit both of those at the same time, just one. So one at a time. More time. All right. Let me just go ahead and trim all this stuff back so it's like even for now. If I need it, I will get it later. Drag these forward. Save that. And probably want to do like that little snare hit shit. Or not snare hit. I just saw a snare hit right there. Made me think of that. Collapse that. The kind of thing. So just hit it with the I'm thinking like not just no. I'm trying to think like a also the what is it? It's a guitar hit here. Just take that off. Yeah, I'm basically wanting like a little hiccup right before. And then it would help if I could see like where the I don't know, that's probably where it's at. And then give it a yeah, okay, so that's like the idea for like part of the song so far. Alright, so let's just hear it as it is. Silence and then just erupts like that. Yeah. And I could do like maybe here, like just like the ride cymbal quietly. Just establish like a very, very subtle, not even like a groove, but just like the drums are barely there, but they're establishing some kind of like beat and rhythm. See, I'm not 100% convinced on the bass though. just let it play out. Sounds all fucked up because I was trying to deviate from like the established like root notes. It just didn't sound good. Sounds fine here. I probably would just hit that note and like hold it, and then maybe hold that again. On me. Maybe I don't need that little galloping hit beforehand because I like the way it sounds when it's like immediate and abrupt. Let me just mute it in case I do want to bring it back. It just sounds better without it, yeah. I like the everything crashing in together at once. Cool. All right. I think that's a good place to just kind of stop for now. I know it's not the most exciting song. It's like a 3.5 minute, like basically mood piece. And it's going to transition. It's still going to be there's still going to be more to this song. It's going to transition into like more of a death metal kind of like thing or whatever. So yeah, and I mean maybe it's cool seeing like how my approach to doing kind of, I mean the thing that's very different for this track compared to some other ones I've done is I haven't really fucked around that much with these kind of tempo transitions, because I mean yeah, shit, this thing goes from 135 down to 60 up to 92, back to 135 down to 60 up to 84, or yeah, 92, and then from 92 to 84, and then I just ignore the tempo after a certain point. Yeah, I mean if anybody has any familiarity with the way that Chaodot's music sounds, the way that Chaodot conducts a lot of the music during a live performance is the main songwriter, lead frontman. He plays guitar too, but like the main guy of the band, Toby Driver, will be standing up at the front and he'll like look back at the drummer or the band and then like that, you know? It's basically like trying to do that thing and trying to find this kind of like flow to things speeding up and then slowing down, you know? The way that I often handle like tempo in like like not a pop song format by any means, but if I'm trying to follow some of the more conventional rules of songwriting or whatever, a lot of times the way that I integrate different time or like tempo shifts kind of, or like a shift in time, is I'll just do like a subdivision of like some kind of like triplet feel. Like, and what I mean by that is, so you can, if you're playing something like 120 BPM, right, and you're playing in like quarter notes, and then suddenly you start playing in a triplet feel, right, where everything, so it goes from 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, I guess, is that right? 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I guess, right? You go into a triplet feel, right? Well, what if that, instead of that being triplets, you just were like, these are quarter notes now, right? So if those are quarter notes now, that means the tempo sped up, right? So it's like kind of like that logic. So I'll do that. I'll either like speed up the tempo or decrease the tempo by whatever the triplet feel is, and then just change everything around it. So I've done that kind of stuff frequently before. I don't often change the, like, just outright change the tempo of the song that much. And in this case, there's like slow downs and speed ups. And I mean, the reason why I just don't do that is because obviously it's a little bit of a, takes some work. Takes some work to like dial these in. You have to like count, like, how many bars am I going to give myself to transition from, or not even bars, how many beats. In this case, it was like, I'm playing 6 hits, and then the next 6 hits decrease, and the 13th hit slows down. So, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you found that interesting at least. Okay, so let us get back to Catharsis. Now, I might just try to, how do I want to, I want to record the other shit. I haven't planned yet what is the next step. I want to bring in the gorguts riff for like the second half of this. Right now I'm just kind of like thinking about like how it's all gonna like end up looking when I bring it all together. So in the meantime, I mean, and apologies, but we're listening again. So let's hear what it sounds like. I kind of almost feel like I want to make that one slightly longer. So I can get away with doing that just by copying from here to here, I suppose. And I can create a region. Just duplicate the region. How will that sound? Let's see. I mean, there's a little bit of a it's like let's see. Whoops. So is that what I'm trying to do? And then like bleed. Well, I'm wanting it to go in both directions, so maybe in that. Okay, that's what I was trying to do. All right, gotcha. And then just kind of like mix those two together and bring that one over. And let's just see if how that ends up sounding. No, that still sounds awful. But I mean, okay, for the sake of just kind of like hearing the length of that section coming back in. I do think I ultimately want to do that. So I will want to like squeeze in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So empty beats. There we go. Okay, yeah. So I'll want to fill this in. It's weird. Is this like well, okay. Let's just put that as like a fucking to-do item. You know, it's not the biggest thing, but extend by 6 beats. You know, and I could actually, so something else I kind of do, or that I've started to do more often now, is, do I even have a template for this yet or not really? I mean, it's not a huge deal template. I don't. Okay, so normally I would just notes. That's all it is. But I could just input like I'll like um, grab a selection of space here, insert an empty item, and now I can type things here. I think this would be. I think the pacing sounds a bit better if this portion is extended by an additional 6 beats during the steady portion of the tempo, if that makes any sense. Word rep. Apply. Okay. And now it's like I have notes there for myself. Okay, so and yeah, just like right there, that's where I want to extend the beat by 6. Anyways. You know, honestly, yeah, the bass sounds fine actually. I remember thinking that maybe I didn't like it, but where did I end up? You know, sometimes I do things where I play the wrong notes, but then I'm like, what if those were the right notes instead? Like it kind of like presents like an opportunity to try to take a different approach. Kind of like I don't know, if somebody showed me an idea and I don't know, like trying to come up with ideas, like maybe I don't like fully like the direction that they went is not the intuitive direction that I would have gone. So it's like I try to follow the path that they laid out, right? So I can see those notes. Maybe that one. I don't know. And in that case, if I were to lean into this note, I would rather hold that note, you know, instead of moving it again. cool. And then from here is probably where I'm gonna have like this playing. So if I'm wanting to do the next, so the next part is going to be. Like, God, I love that riff. Such a good riff. I think it's cool. Let's see. So let's insert a time tempo signature marker yet again. So I like even numbers. All right, so let's see. I don't need that, but let's hear this thing play out. Is it and then I might as well just go ahead and bring in this drum part. What tempo did I play it at? Ooh, so it's actually at 84. Hey, wait. So the thing's already at 84. So how about we just say fuck it? Remove that. That actually is perfect. That it's already at the perfect tempo. I like the way that sounded, but still. Let's play it at tempo. So we got that. And then bring in this beat. Kind of like a little hard to figure out exactly where to lap that. There. You know what? Let's just go ahead and bring in the fucking riff I like. And I'm actually just gonna go ahead and copy. I want to play this part over again, but I mean, might as well. Like, I already kind of like recorded some of the shit, right? So, I mean, just here. Heavy guitar, heavy bass. I'll just type it as a lead. I don't know. We got guitar lead and lead guitar. Very, very intuitive. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and bring in what I played on the bass already. why not? And I actually don't know what fucking, now that I think about it, I don't know what kind of like bass sound I used. What is the bass here? Bass. I have a headache, man. Ugh. I mean, that's a cool sound. I'll just call this one super heavy bass. This is the riff. Let's just delete that one. Delete the other stuff for now. That's not the riff. Hold on. What was all the other stuff I deleted? Is it one of these? Is this it? There we go. Okay, let me fucking move the thing all the way back to wherever it came from. Oh, here. It is. I hate it when I do that. There we go. So I didn't record it like right on the grid, which makes it hard to line it up perfectly, but now it's... Alright. Save that as is. And then, what was it? Lead guitar? Alright, so let's see. Save. And let's do this. See? It sounds cool, but the fucking tone sounds awful. Let me just go ahead and start it with the other riffs. Everything broke. Too much processing at once, probably. Let me go ahead and just close this. No, probably not. Okay. That sucks. Re-record that whole thing. Hopefully it doesn't break on me again. I'm actually just I'm gonna record both of these so that I can get the full stereo effect going at once, and then I'll just re-record it again. Fuck that up. Try it again. Yep. Word. here is ideally where we would have like the other clean guitar come back. I'm actually just gonna drag this back in. I suppose that would be the outro. Which, I mean, there might be some embellishments here and there. I might like work on it more, but I mean, like, I think that's kind of like the rough structure of the song I'm going for. It comes in at like close to 6 minutes in length. So yeah. So let's like hear what that sounds like from this this bit. I'm wondering if I can maybe, I'm trying to think like what other kind of sounds could I make. I mean, that could work. Hold on a second. So I'm thinking about doing that. For those who are unaware of what that was, so this is called a ebow. I dropped it a few times. I actually, funny story, I had one once before, dropped that shit, broke it, went and got a brand new one, and immediately fucking dropped it. So taped it back together again. That's so you can see all like the scotch tape and shit. But what it is, it's battery powered. Um, there's a little switch on the back that goes between like it's like two different kind of like vibration modes, but there's this like little I don't know what to call that, like a little trench kind of looking indentation on the bottom that you basically set your guitar string in between there without touching it, and it vibrates it. Um so like here's one mode. Let me turn this up. And then the other mode. So like vibrates at an octave up, basically. Anyways, yeah, I figured maybe like doing that kind of in the background, and then maybe what was I holding before? Yeah, I mean just stuff like that too. So, I don't know. It kind of just I'm trying to like create that like that bridge because I'm wanting to. One of the other things that I was thinking about doing, let's see, which I think I can only do with my other guitar. Ugh. So this guitar is not tuned in the same, but I think it's in E standard at the moment. Let's see. Okay, so if we're trying to make it so that we hit any note that is B, C, D, or G, I suppose, right? It's an E flat, E. What about the A? So A flat, A. So we got B here. Where else? I mean, it'd be A. I'm trying to think. So E, E flat, or so E flat, E, F, G flat, G, G flat, well, G. And then what other chord? What other note? So we have D above it. Well, we need to like fret. It's a little too. Let me just make absolutely sure. I'm not in E standard, am I? Okay, well, okay, I'm not, but mean, that doesn't sound dissonant at all. But anyways, the thing that I was gonna do is that I could use the this is a kill switch and do this kind of like that kind of thing. So, what could I do that with though? I mean, there's this lead guitar thing. I can try that. Let's see. Could I do that? I could also, so I could either do that or I can maybe even just kind of do some kind of like volume automation thing where it's more like I'm automating the pre-effects volume. Let's see if I can, yeah, actually, yeah, let's try something like that. Let me just take this thing. All right, we're gonna open up the volume. Is there a way that I can like make this like effects parameters? So I think the volume is, in this case, is the volume of the entire track. Volume pre-effects. Okay, that's kind of like what I'm looking for. And then maybe I could do like some kind of a maybe if I like selected, no, let's like like select it here, automation items, insert a new automation item, and then do like a square, maybe. So kind of like that. So that's kind of like that's like within the ballpark of what I'm trying to do. But we need to, amplitude is just keep that at 100, right? Baseline, okay, that's what that is. Cycles. Well, I mean, that's the thing I'm trying to work on. So LFO shape, square. So like that. So like that though. But faster at the pulse width with the cycles. I wonder how I can do it so that it's like kind of like, oh yeah, frequency skew maybe. It's kind of like the idea that I had cooking. Amplitude, bring the amplitude down a little bit. There we go. is killing me. Oh. There's like way too much bass in the bass. Yeah, just kind of like trying to listen to stuff a little bit more. You know, I think it's kind of a cool song idea, you know. Take some time smoothing things until like the full vision is apparent, you know. But I think it's a pretty decent start for a day, I think. Um hmm, yeah, no. You know, contemplating if you know. So I was yeah, obviously I ended a video saying that that was part 1, this is part 2. But, you know, I'm only like 40 minutes into this. Yeah, 40 minutes is plenty long enough, honestly. And plus the other one was like a whole lot of like preamble of like working or discussing shit before starting on things. So, I think this is a good spot to maybe stop for today. Just kind of it's I accomplished something. I don't really need. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do next. So, if I get this posted up on YouTube, I'm curious for those who have listened thus far. I know it's kind of like a strange song. Hopefully, it's like, you kind of vibe with whatever the vision is here. But, what do you think I should? Is there anything that you think I should do to the song? Um, like, is there like an area that's like, hey, can you mix? Like, you should focus on mixing this part next or something. I'm kind of leaning towards trying to figure out how to get the right sound that I want from the heavy guitars because it's kind of there. Like I feel like the clean guitar sound is very nice, but the heavy guitar is always the hardest thing, especially when you want that like long sustain. So, um, hmm, yeah. So I'm wondering what should I do next? Um, and actually, so for the sake of maybe the last thing I'll do. I don't want to. I mean, okay. So I'm kind of going to denote this section as so edit region. We'll just call, and this includes the next repeat of it, the one where it says extend by 6 beats, but I don't want to overlap that. This is we'll just call it the KO dot intro. Honestly, I don't know. Or maybe not KO dot intro, but like the thing that it's clearly aping is marathon intro, right? Because like I think that's probably what it is, where the idea is stemming from. So marathon isn't particularly a song I'd listen to a lot from KO dot, but the intro of that album does make a strong impression. Then we'll call this one edit the region a solemn verse. And this whole part will be the tension filled. Is this where? Edit region. This will be the tension filled transition. We'll call this one gorguts introduction. To gorguts riff. And then quiet ending. Okay, so now that we kind of have like an establish of like, we've established what the different sections are: marathon intro, solemn verse, tension filled transition, gorguts introduction, the gorguts riff, and the quiet ending. Is there a specific area that you think that I should focus on more? Is there a particular kind of instrumentation that you would like to see brought into this? Like personally, I'm thinking like on the gorguts introduction, when I was doing like the ebow stuff and like the killswitch type thing, I'm kind of wanting to find like even if like the sound of a radio that's fizzling out or something like that, just like these kind of like the sounds of like electronics dying and whining or things like that. Sounds like a cool idea. The gorguts riff is cool, but it needs like polish. Like I feel like if anything, the gorguts riff is the section that's going to require a lot of like compositional polish to really make it shine, so it's not just a repetitive metal riff.
It's supposed to be a repetitive metal riff to build things upon. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any suggestions. So yeah, thanks for watching.